Welcome to the Elliott Museum on Hutchinson Island. I'm Ron Rose, Executive Director of the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce. You're watching Focus on Jensen Beach, and with me is Elizabeth Press, who is the Executive Director here of the Martin County Historical Society. Welcome to Focus on Jensen Beach.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now let's start out and tell our viewers what the Historical Society is all about.
The Historical Society of Martin County owns and operates the Elliott Museum and also operates the Gilbert's Bar House of Refuge, which is also on Hutchinson Island, but which is a county property.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I've been here 8 months, but the Historical Society has been here since the mid-1950s when it was formed by the Seroptimists.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. That's great history.
Oh, it's really an interesting story. The Seroptimists took over the renovation of the House of Refuge, which had been abandoned. The House of Refuge, of course, was built in 1875 as a haven for shipwrecked sailors when there was no Stuart and there was very little settlement on the Florida coast. It had been abandoned and fallen, of course, into great disrepair. The Seroptimists took it over, renovated it, restored it, brought it back to life, turned it into a museum of Martin County history, and created a historical society of Martin County to take over the operation of that museum.
Now, the Jensen Beach Garden Club just recently did some planning at the Gilbert's House of Refuge, just totally landscaped the grounds.
Absolutely. They did a wonderful job, and we've been really fortunate to have so much community involvement with the House of Refuge over the years. The Builders Association has taken a large role in the past of restoring it, and we are always interested in people helping us to preserve and protect that property.
Now, the reason why we're here today is because you've been telling me for some time now all the changes that have taken place in this museum. Let's tell the folks out there a little bit of what they can expect.
Ron, there certainly have been a lot of changes at the Elliott Museum in the past 8 months. But before I tell you about those changes, I'd like to give you your viewers a little more understanding about the Elliott itself. It was built in 1960 and given as a gift to the community by Harmon Elliott in memory of his father Sterling. I'll tell you more about that story when we go inside. My second day here, my first board meeting, one of the board members decided that it was really time that we put a new ceiling in approximately 12,000 square feet of our 20,000 square foot building. And I, of course, being very anxious to please, said, certainly, we can do that. A new ceiling meant new lights, it meant new walls, having to add drywall, paint, cover windows, rearrange the exhibits. We ended up being closed for about 6 weeks and doing essentially a major overhaul of the interior shell of the Elliott Museum. But instead of me standing out here telling you about it, let's go on inside and I'll show you.
All right, great. Let's go.
Good morning.
Well, thank you. Hi.
Have you ever been here before? Have you ever been here before?
Many, many times, many times.
Well, then you know your way around.
Right.
Of course, the foundation of the museum is the volunteer help, and we've been very fortunate to have a wonderful, wonderful volunteer force. The front desk is, today we have Jim Schaefer. He's a member of our board of directors.
Hi, Jim.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the Elliott Museum.
Thank you.
His wife, Jessie Schaefer, is one of our docents and is also working with the front desk and helping to greet people as they walk in the door.
Welcome to Focus on Jensen Beach.
Thank you.
You asked outside what were some of the most significant changes visitors will see if they haven't been here in the last 8 months since we changed the interior. The first and most remarkable change is the lobby. When you walk in, it's all opened up. The gift shop has been expanded and changed to create a very light, inviting look, so hopefully people will want to come in here, even if they're not visiting the museum, to visit our gift shop.
That's one of the first things I noticed when I came in, so y'all did a good job.
Good, good. Glad to hear it. We have put a bicycle and a music box also in the front lobby for the purposes of helping to get our message across. Our story is, how do people live at the turn of the century, and how were their lives impacted by the practical inventor like Sterling Elliott? This is not an Elliott bicycle that you see behind Ron, but it is such a wonderful piece that we put it up there, and we will be exchanging bicycles every several months. Our volunteers at the gift shop today are Eleanor Marshall and Doris Einig.
Welcome to Focus on Jensen Beach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doing a good job. Get a lot of customers today?
We hope so.
All right.
And behind me we have a new and very special person here. Jermaine Alger is the new volunteer coordinator, and her job is to make it easy and fun for Eleanor and Doris and Jim and Jesse to enjoy volunteering here at the Elliott.
And we just recently got through a volunteer month, didn't we, in Martin County?
Yeah, we certainly did. We had a volunteer thank you luncheon last week, and we are looking forward to having a lot more volunteers for this summer.
A lot of people don't understand the importance of positions like you have, but they're very, very important, and we're glad there's people out there that do the kind of job that you do.
Well, thank you. I hope to be here a long time, and I hope to help the community.
Great. Great.
Jermaine's been doing a wonderful job since she's been here. We had 80 people show up for our volunteer luncheon, so we were really pleased with that, and that was not our entire volunteer staff.
That's excellent.
But the truth is, and I can't emphasize this enough, a museum cannot exist without the volunteers. Not just to staff positions, but they really create the spirit of a museum, so that when people walk in the door, there's something very special that only a volunteer can offer.
Okay, well, where are you going to take us first?
I think we'll start with the general store.
Okay. Before we go into the general store, though, we're going to take a break, and we'll see you right after these messages, so don't go away.
Hi, Grandpa. Can I come over tomorrow for a swim?
Susie, it takes a few days for my electric heat pump to heat the pool. How about next weekend?
Okay, Grandpa.
Hi, hello, Mr. Comparison here. Well, sure, Susie. We'll see you tomorrow. In fact, bring your friends. We'll have a pool party. When you dare to compare, you'll discover a propane pool heater will heat your pool in hours, not days, and your spa in minutes, not hours. So call today for a free estimate. Try, I say try County Gas.
Welcome back. We're here at the Elliott Museum on Hutchinson Island, and rejoining us is Jesse Schaefer, who's going to tell us about the general store.
Well, when you walk into the general store, the first thing you see is a lot of everything. You could come to this store and buy and get anything you wanted. You get your mail, you get your clothes, you can get your appliances, you can get food and drugs. Everything was sold in the general store. So it was a congregating place for the whole community.
Now, you know, there's still some general stores around here in this country, I bet.
Well, I'm sure there are some. I think White City had one, as a matter of fact, that was an old-fashioned general store.
Did you ever have one in your hometown when you were growing up?
No, because I grew up in a city and we didn't have one.
So it was more rural type areas.
More rural, yes. You got your mail there. You had a pot-bellied stove that everybody gathered around, and it was all the politics in the community were discussed there too.
You know, I was at Snowshoe Ski Resort in West Virginia, and right down at the foot of the mountain there's a general store, and it still sits there. I just remembered that.
There's one in Cooperstown, New York, too, that I know of that's very, very similar to this sort of.
But it's a bit of our history, and that's why it's here. What's here in the general store that we can specifically show our viewers, and to encourage them to come in and see all the great changes here at the Elliott Museum?
Well, turn around behind you. There is a first electric sweeper, and that's rather different than the type that you see today. There are also washing machines. That's a washing machine over there. And I think the screw cabinet, which is down at the far
Let's
end,
walk down.
is quite unusual. When I take children's groups through, I try to talk to them about this and ask them what they think it is. I cover up the sign. But this has all the different numbers on for screws and nails and so on. And I think that the shell dress is something we point out that's hanging on the wall. This was worn by a child in Massachusetts. Her mother made it, and she was in a skating contest, and she won first place. And that's a pretty dangerous thing to do with a shell dress on.
And right behind us is the post office.
And right behind is the post office. That's right. And there's your pot-bellied stove just to the right. So it has everything. You can just about everything that you might want to buy or purchase you could find in the general store.
Well, Jesse, thank you for telling us about the general store.
Well, you're welcome. It's nice to have you here.
It's great to have volunteers like you two in our community.
Thank you.
We're now in the main gallery of the Elliott Museum. Many of the exhibits have been changed for those people who have been here before. They'll see things that they loved and enjoyed visiting, but we've changed the exhibits so that the presentation is significantly different. I'd like to start out with by playing one of our music boxes.
Great.
The music box is a Regina, essentially a Regina jukebox. It's a changer, and the mechanics of it were that the same concept of a jukebox. It would change its own disc once you wound it up. Interesting piece. Behind us, we have our Martin County history. Okay, here we have our Victorian parlor. This is part of the original Elliott collection that he purchased from a museum in Massachusetts and donated to the Elliott Museum. Here we have part of our antique wedding gown collection, and across from that, behind it, you'll see our costumes, our dress salon, which has some of our collection of early American costumes, turn-of-the-century costumes. Here we have the Elliott dining room. Harmon Elliott purchased this out of the estate of Fatty Arbuckle in the 20s. The music box collection is frankly a personal favorite. We have wonderful pieces in our collection that tell the story that we're trying to show here. How did Americans live at the turn of the century, and how are their lives impacted by inventors? I'd like to play for you, before we move on to the next exhibit, our Swiss music box, which has bells and drums, and it's really quite a spectacular piece.
Say, what are you building? What are you building? I guess he's a little camera shy.
You dummy.
Make Stewart Business Systems your headquarters for all your equipment needs, from desktop facsimile to plain paper facsimile, from desktop copiers to full copier systems, computers, printers, typewriters, and more. Of course, Stewart Business Systems provides a full line of supplies. Professional on-site services, and Stewart Business Systems is locally owned and operated. Visit our showroom at North Shore Plaza or call 692-2100.
For children growing up, the world is fresh and new, with loving parents there to guide them and make difficult times easier. That's why thoughtful parents invest in a pre-need trust funeral plan. Makes sense financially, and it lessens everyone's pain at life's most difficult time. Call Acock Funeral Homes, serving the Treasure Coast with 4 locations, to explain their pre-arrangement plan. It's the most thoughtful thing you'll ever do.
As I mentioned earlier, Sterling Elliott was a practical inventor at the turn of the century. He started out manufacturing bicycles. In the process of doing that, he invented a version of the quadricycle. The quadricycle that he invented solved some of the steering mechanism problems that needed to be addressed in order to create the automobile. The Stanley brothers, who were his neighbors in Massachusetts, purchased his bicycle factory and used his version of the quadricycle as the forerunner for their Stanley steamer, which was one of the early automobiles. Sterling published a magazine called Bicycling World, and in the process of doing that began to invent address labeling machines and knot tying machines to help him in publishing the magazine. In total, Sterling Elliott, followed by his son Harmon Elliott, created over 222 different patents for a variety of inventions. We're now in the automotive gallery, where we have a collection of 26 antique and vintage automobiles.
over tomorrow for a swim?
Susie, it takes a few days for my electric heat pump to heat the pool. How about next weekend?
Okay, Grandpa.
Hi, hello, Mr. Comparison here. Well, sure, Susie, we'll see you tomorrow. In fact, bring your friends, we'll have a pool party. When you dare to compare, you'll discover a propane pool heater will heat your pool in hours, not days, and your spa in minutes, not hours. So call today for a free estimate. Try, I say try County Gas.
If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I'd still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
At Budweiser, we salute with pride what all Americans know in their hearts. The American workers' commitment to quality is stronger today than ever.
Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Nothing beats the quality of the American spirit.
I'm sure you folks have really enjoyed this Focus on Jensen Beach show here at the Elliott Museum. Elizabeth, let's give the viewers out there a little information they need to know about where this is, how much it costs.
Okay, we're located at 325 Northeast Ocean Boulevard. That's on Hutchinson Island, just north of Indian River Plantation. The hours are 11 to 4, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. The admission is $2.50 for adults, 50 cents for children 6 to 13, and free for children under 6. I should also mention that we're doing something special on Mother's Day. In celebration, we are offering free admission to mothers and grandmothers and giving $1 back to any great-grandmothers that come in that day. So we hope you'll make a point to come and join us.
That's a great promotion. Now, of course, we didn't get to see everything here. There's a lot more things to see here at the museum, and we encourage everybody to come out. Now, again, we want to mention about the volunteers and even people that might be interested in being a part of the Historical Society.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate, as I said, to have a great many volunteers, but you can never have enough. There's so many programs that are in the beginning stages of being developed to offer to the community. We would like to expand our docent programs to include more specialized program for the children that come in, the school groups that come in. We're working on an inventory of the collection, cataloging the collection, and there's just so many projects that we're trying to do that really depend on volunteer resources to pull them off. So we encourage you, if you're interested at all in Martin County history or turn-of-the-century American history, to give us a call at the Elliott Museum at 225-1961.
Okay, so Tim can put that up on the screen. Mention that one more time.
225-1961.
Okay, well, thank you all for watching Focus on Jensen Beach. Wish me luck here because Elizabeth's behind the wheel here. Should we put on our seatbelts, or do they have seatbelts?
They have seatbelts.
All right, well, we'll see you next week.